I felt a deep sense of reverence when I stepped into my first year of high school. Leaving middle school as the class president and an elder sister figure, it felt strange to start as a freshman. Moreover, my closest friends had all gone to different schools, leaving me feeling alone. Whenever I visited my former teachers, they often advised me to join group activities to meet new friends, and gradually, I began to appreciate my new school. Their advice comforted me to some extent. One chilly Sunday afternoon, as the autumn wind whispered through the windows, I was sitting at my desk, working on my homework. My mother was adding wood to the fireplace to keep the house warm. A red-haired cat was lying on a pile of books, purring and occasionally batting at my pen for fun. It was always affectionate towards me. I had saved its life when it was just a tiny kitten. Suddenly, I detected a strange smell, and then I saw it. Smoke, seeping through the house. It spread so quickly that my eyes watered. Frantically searching for the door, we rushed outside just as the entire house was engulfed in flames. I ran to the neighbor's house to call the fire department, while my mother insisted on going back inside. She soon emerged with a metal box containing important documents. She placed the box on the grass and then, in a seemingly reckless state, went back inside. I knew she couldn't bear to lose the images and letters from my father. They were the only things she had to remember him by. Nevertheless, I yelled, "Mom, don't!" I was about to follow her when a strong hand restrained me. Struggling to break free from the grip of the firefighter, I cried out, "My mom is in there." He tried to reassure me, "She'll be fine, they'll bring her out." He wrapped me in a blanket and sat me in a car, while his colleagues rushed into the burning house. Not long after, another firefighter carried my mother out. He placed an oxygen mask on her face, and I rushed to hug her, fearing the worst. 5 hours later, the fire was finally extinguished, leaving our home in ruins. After regaining my composure, I was devastated to find that my beloved cat was missing. Amid the chaos, I had forgotten about it. So many things were happening at once: a new school, the fire, and now my cat. I broke down in tears. That night, we couldn't return home due to safety concerns and had to stay at my grandparents' house. I was distraught about my cat and my mother's safety. The following morning, I went to school in the only remaining outfit and borrowed my aunt's shoes. I wished I could have stayed home. Why couldn't my mother understand how confused I was? My clothes were different, and I had no books or backpack. My entire life was in that backpack. Maybe fate was forcing me to become homeless forever. It could be. I just wanted to retreat or disappear. I arrived at school like a lifeless shell. Everything felt blurry. My warm and comfortable life, my old school, friends, home, and my cat had all been lost. After school, while passing by what used to be our house, I was shocked by the devastation in front of my eyes. The fire had consumed everything. I only managed to salvage some photo albums, documents, and a few personal items that my mother had risked her life to retrieve. My beloved cat was still missing, my heart ached. My new friends, including my teachers, now knew about my situation. I felt awkward, as if I were responsible for the disaster. This was not the kind of attention I had hoped for when starting at a new school. Those who had never spoken to me before now gathered around, bombarding me with questions. If this had happened before the fire, I would have been surprised. It seemed like I had become tougher. Yet I couldn't help but be overwhelmed by the table laden with gifts in the gym. There were school supplies, books, various clothes, including jeans and nice ones. It felt like Christmas. I was deeply moved. In an instant, I let out a sigh of relief, thinking that everything would be okay. That day, I began to make new friends. A month later, I returned to the site where our house was being rebuilt, accompanied by 2 new friends. I no longer felt anxious. In my heart, I knew I was on the path to recovery. Suddenly, I heard a voice behind me. "Is this your cat?" I turned around and couldn't believe my eyes. A woman was holding my cat. Without wasting a moment, I rushed to take my cat from her. I held it tightly, and tears fell onto its beautiful red fur. It purred contentedly. My friends gathered around, hugging me and dancing in celebration. It turned out that my cat had been so frightened by the fire that it had run far away. The collar it wore had our home phone number, but the phone had been destroyed and cut off from contact. This kind-hearted woman had taken care of it, and it wasn't easy for her to locate me. I couldn't understand how she knew that this cat was so cherished and missed. Surrounded by my friends with the cat curled up on my lap, the feelings of loss and tragedy seemed to fade away. I felt grateful for life, my new friends, and the kindness of strangers. My cat had returned, and so had I. Thank you so much for watching, and stay blessed.